Hi friends, I have not had a professional haircut in just about 11 months. And today I'm going to share my experience of having a makeover with hairstylist extraordinaire Jayne Matthews of Ito's Salon. Welcome to the Dress Up Mom. If you're already a subscriber, thank you and I love you. If you haven't subscribed, please do and tap the bell for notifications. If you aren't familiar with Jayne, she specializes in bohemian crafted hair. She has a huge Instagram following and has recently been featured in publications like the New York Times. She's often called the Shag Queen, but she's also great at bobs, pixies, mullets, and everything in between. She's known for framing your best features and gravitates towards 60s and 70s style, using your hair's natural texture. She is also a razor cut educator and has taught her technique to many hairstylists. Now, I've personally been following Jayne for the last couple years, and she's one of my favorite people on Instagram. I really love seeing all of her before and after makeovers. She's very into like natural texture and having people wear their hair naturally, which is what I love to do anyway. And I just gravitated to her for a bunch of reasons: her personality, her creativity, but also she's a mom, she's into sustainability, she's into vintage clothes, and I just sort of felt one of those connections with her and have been wanting to get my hair cut from her for a while. The cuts also are supposed to last for 6 months or longer and get better with age, and so I'm excited about that too, because I'm really not somebody who loves going in and getting their hair cut all the time. I don't like to fuss with it a lot. I also have worn my hair a bunch of different ways, so I'm very open to experimenting with my hair, but not with color. I've not ever really colored my hair, so I've got some grays in here, and I don't, like I said, I don't fuss. I don't like to blow dry really or do a whole lot of straightening. I have in the past, but I'm really sort of liking wearing my hair natural, and I actually do kind of like how it's grown out here during this long period of not having it cut. Jayne has also exposed me to some really cool hair products that I've been using and liking. Natural, and they feel really good on my hair, and I don't have to do, you know, a whole lot other than wash it with the new wash and use a couple of those products. Now, I actually put her on my goal list for 2020 to get a haircut by her. She is up in the Bay Area, but is moving down to LA and also spends a bit of time here in the Southern California area. Right before COVID, in the beginning of March, I had made it on her list to get a makeover. She was coming to San Diego to do some training. I live in San Diego, and then somehow just by sheer luck I DM'd her and she agreed to do a makeover for me while she was down here in San Diego. Now, unfortunately, she got sick and had to cut her trip very short. She was doing some education here, so she couldn't do any cuts, and I couldn't get my hair cut with her in March, and we had made plans to do it the following month when she was back down here. Well, the whole world kind of changed. That didn't happen. And so Jayne started doing these virtual cuts, like teaching us all how to virtually cut our bangs and do that kind of thing. So I did do a session with her for an hour, and I got to meet her virtually, and she taught me how to do bangs, and I cut them once with her, and then I've cut them another time myself. So I was able to do that. We were getting kind of opening back up, and then poor Jayne got in this horrible motorcycle accident where she's like super lucky that she's been able to recover the way that she has. Looks like she is going to make 100% recovery, but it's been really slow go, and she hasn't been cutting much hair at all. She's been doing a lot of healing, but here we are in time for her to come back to LA, and she promised to put me on her list. We had scheduled again, and then she got a fever and couldn't fly. So now it's been the third time, and I think the third time's a charm. I'm scheduled to get my makeover with her this coming up weekend, and I'm just thrilled. I've always wanted someone to craft a cut to highlight my best features. Like I said, I've worn it a bunch of different ways, but I would love to know sort of what a professional person thinks is the right sort of face framing and way to highlight my best features, be able to wear my hair naturally, make my gray look cool. This is all a tall order, I know, but I do know if anybody can do that, Jayne can. I'm in San Diego. She's a couple hours away, maybe like a little less than 2 hours away where my appointment is. So we're kind of making a weekend out of it. Doug's coming with me, my husband, and we're gonna see Dane, our son, up there, have dinner, spend the night, and then I'm getting my hair cut. So I'm doing like a whole celebration around hopefully getting one of my goals underway. And I do realize that it was a big ask because I don't think she's cut very many people's hair this entire year. So I do feel truly blessed. Now, because of COVID, I need to wear masks. There's all these rules about being with her in the salon, so I do not think I'm going to be able to film while I'm there. I'm certainly not going to be able to film her actually doing my hair. She makes a living teaching people doing that. I'm hoping I can get a couple maybe photos while I'm in there, and you can certainly see here's sort of the before. I'll do a little bit more filming before as I'm on my way in there, but I'll try to get as much footage as I can. But mostly I will talk to you afterward about the experience of it and show you what she ends up doing. I'm so excited. Tell me what you think Jayne is going to do to my hair.
I think it's going to be a magical transformation. I know my wife, who is unbelievably high standards. She loves this woman. I mean, loves this woman, has followed this woman.
Like almost a girlfriend crush on this woman.
Yes, and I think it's going to all turn out fantastic.
But what do you think she's going to do? You think she's going to leave it long?
I think she's Picasso. I think she's an artist. I think you're going to find a new structure, and no, I think she's going to shape you a little bit.
All right.
I think it's going to be interesting.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Dane, what do you think that Jayne's going to do to my hair?
I don't know. I feel like she's going to do it shorter here, bangs, but then keep like long wispy.
So you think she'll keep it long?
I think so.
Do you think I'm cuckoo?
No, I understand.
Okay.
I understand it though.
All right, I'm glad you're here.
Yes, I can't wait.
Okay, I'm in the car getting ready to go in, and I've been not trying to get too excited just in case, but I'm here, she's here, and I'm gonna get my hair cut. That was so fun! I love what Jayne did, and it was so wonderful meeting her and getting to I am back home with my new do, and I couldn't be happier. I absolutely love it. I love, love, love it. I don't know if you can see the back here or not, but so much weight was taken off the back of it. So, where to start? First off, the entire weekend was so much fun. The part of Long Beach that we stayed in, the Pike, was really cute, and we got to walk around a lot. We got to spend time with Dane, and he even spent the night with us there. Super fun leading up to it. And then actually going to the adorable salon. It's called Salon Wire. If you're in Long Beach, check it out. The owner was so lovely. She was there assisting Jayne. Really adorable place. I felt very safe. And then meeting Jayne was great. She was just as wonderful as I pictured she would be. We became fast friends, or just seemed like we had a lot in common. It was super easy to talk to her. She was just as real and open, and just such an artist, so creative. We talked about my hair. Again, I gave her free rein, and she wanted to keep it long, which I'm sort of glad. I like it long like this. But she looked at my face, and I have a very long sort of angular pointed chin, and my faces sort of can be very pointed. So she talked a lot about putting weight here and making the sides look a little bit more bigger, having bigger hair and bigger weight here to bring more of a rounded shape. And she cut a lot here in the back and in the crown because it was weighing it down. So all sorts of these fun layers and pieces here in the back, and this is just absolutely my natural hair. She did a little bit of diffusing just for 2 minutes to get it so it wasn't 100% wet, but then most of it was just kind of sculpting and smushing up, and it feels so wonderful. She used New Wash on my hair, which I use as well, and then a couple other products from Hair Story. We used the Undressed, which is like a salt spray back here, and then some of the hair balm. I already have and use those products, so I don't need to, I don't need to get them or anything, and I'll just continue to use them. She showed me how to use my hands, just sort of sculpt it and put it in the right shape. And I mean, this is gonna last me, I think, another 6 months, at which point I'm gonna go back and see Jayne. She said she would love to keep cutting my hair, and I would love that too, especially when she moves to LA. She did the entire cut with the razor, and she started it in the back here, which you could see her just sort of carving the pieces out in the back. Then I couldn't see as she was actually cutting, she didn't cut it in front of the mirror, I was turned the other way, but it was an interesting way that she cuts, and she had me sort of sit up a little bit, then I sit even more up. It was a different kind of a haircut than I had ever gotten, and when she turned the chair around, I was like, whoa, this is so cool. At first, the bangs were a little bit longer, and they look nice that way too. That's how they'll grow out. But since it's going to be probably 6 months or so before I go back and see her again, she wanted to cut them a little bit shorter so that they would all grow out, and this is going to just grow out so lovely. At one point, she called my hair delicious, which was quite a big compliment. Delicious. It was also fun talking to Jayne, because I was talking to her that she should start her own YouTube channel, which I really think she would. People would totally watch her cut hair and be able to get another platform and more content. So I hope she does that. It was just a wonderful experience. I loved it. I loved Jayne. It was her first day of cutting like 4 people since her motorcycle accident. We talked about that a little bit. I was the first of 4 people. So I hope that she's not too tired and not in too much pain after all of this, but it was just great. Love it, love it, love it. So that is my story. What do you think about the new do? I think my color looks good here. I think maybe a little younger, a little bit more hip, and just sort of more put together, but still feel totally like myself. So let me know what you think, and thanks for watching. Until next time, have some fun and dress it up a little.